Hey guys, happy weekend. It's Saturday right now, but it's probably not going to be Saturday by the time you watch this. So, firstly, thanks to everybody who's done the I was going to say course evaluation because that's what I'm used to calling them, but this is the instructor evaluation, mid-semester evaluation. So I really appreciate those of you who've done that. I see um, generally who has done it, but I don't see any of the feedback of not linked to specific people. So um, I do have gratitude for those who have done it, but I don't know exactly what you said. So you could have filled it out and had all kinds of stuff negative about me, and I would have no idea. Okay, let me give some um, feedback, generally speaking, about the last man. Week 4 was there was a lot of stuff. I don't know if it was a lot of stuff on your side or if it just feels that way for me because I had extra stuff than usual to grade. So I'm going to try to fly through some stuff, give you general impressions without taking too much of your time. So 2-3-1 rule was it's kind of a rule of thumb, not something that you're going to see everywhere. Like I don't really. I mean, like I think honestly this is probably as applicable in comedy. So if you're going to be a stand-up comic, you definitely pay attention to the 2-3-1 rule. Otherwise, it's good to know. It's good to come up. I think the one ending with a zinger, I think definitely has application. Let me point out a couple that I really liked. So there was actually a lot. I was actually very entertained. I love being entertained when I'm grading, but this one definitely was there. So Janine's about the end. It all comes out here at the very end of like, for me, the very last line kind of ties it all together, adds a zing of like, yeah, my wife accused me of being immature, and it just so happens that I am really immature. So, and I couldn't resist. I had to leave the comment that my wife is always in my fort as well. So, um, and then I really like Nick's approach of taking the stuff that is and I think I mentioned that in a video. So if so, I'm gonna say double kudos to you, Nick. Even if not, though, I appreciate this approach of like, how many fingers am I holding up, and like, it just it I don't think that the person who drew this artwork intended for you to have counting the fingers that they're holding up. And I love that she only has 4 fingers, and that's how many she was holding up. Um, Also, this whole most people use it as like, oh, he's walking away, and I got to work that in somehow. But this is more like, no, their conversation is continuing. He is just facing the wrong direction, which I thought was a very clever way of doing that. Um, so good work. I do the lack of feedback on others was a shame, because I would have loved to have for you to have gotten stuff from Nick. So the ethical essay, I wanted to share a couple. One was from Lauren. Um, I really liked how and you don't need to bold your thesis, but I really like, and I said I appreciate the bold stance literally and figuratively, because I appreciate that it was very clear up front. It would be unethical to. Da, da, da. I think that was a very good move. Also, let's move down here. You know, a test that could be applied to the situation is the consequences test. Here's how it applies. I thought that was a very clear and direct. Here's a test. Let me plug it in. And even without that, I think it would have been, it would have been solid. But with that, that's like, especially where I'm like, you got to have those ethics tests in there. Though that made this a clear, you know. Let me also point out another one that was not the, was it the ethicist? Why is that the, anyway. So Alvaro, I thought did quite a nice job on doing a personal experience. And so I was kind of hoping that you would go to the reading and have, okay, here's deontology. How can a deontological approach apply here? But I like how Alvaro worked of like, hey, you know, what about the golden rule? How does the golden rule apply here? And that's something that I think even without kind of the readings about philosophy or whatever, I think I mean, it is in there, but like, even without that, that's something that you could have used as an ethics test. So yeah, I'm not going to go into details, you know, of just kind of surface level stuff, which for me, I'm not as worried about that as I am about following directions, getting the subject matter in there solid. Let's see, anything else? Oh, another reading response. This one, some people got thrown by the whole take a stand, right to learn section. And at first I was like, are those just not in the reading? But then a lot of people actually did have them in there. So it's like, it was tricky to find, but it was in there. So I wasn't too upset about, I don't know, especially since there was a lot of these. You didn't lose much points for not having those. Anyway, good work, everybody. Keep it up, and I will talk to you guys later.